Okay, so as you know, this is the very first session of the RPA Developer training thread in the Women in Automation program. The Women in Automation program, I'm sure most of you already have seen this page, yet I'm also going to share it again in the chat with you. This is the full program description with all the details and all the links to the events within the program. This program was a pretty complex design on behalf of UiPath Community, so it includes inspirational sessions. We had our opening panel last week. You can view the recordings, and I strongly advise you to view the recording for this inspirational panel because it was filled with good advice and very nice stories from women leaders in automation, and also a lot of insights on how the automation context is in the present. Then if you go to through the program page, it's just like a user journey as you should move through the program. After the opening panel, you of course chose your training thread, and we are here today for this part, which is the studio training thread for RPA developers. This is the first session, and what you should know is that of course you should also register for session 2 if you want to receive the program credential at the end. You will receive a Women in Automation Studio program credential at the end, which you can attach to the LinkedIn profile. This training thread also has an UiPath Academy training assignment. This is not a big learning assignment. It's something quite soft, about 4 hours of learning in UiPath Academy. And you have the time until the end of the month to go through these courses and complete them. This is until March 31st. You should go through these free Academy listed courses here and complete them in order to get the credential for the program. The last, but actually going throughout the month and the biggest chunk of the program is, of course, the mentorship part. Though it's the biggest in terms of events, it is in small groups. So all these events have waiting lists enabled now. So I strongly encourage you, if you want to RSVP and join an event or a waiting list for an event if the event is already full, because 48 hours before we move from the waiting list into the event. So if you have a subject that you're interested in, these are really like narrowed down sessions with very focused insights with persons from our MVPs, our clients, our partners, and our very own UiPath colleagues. So you can join a subject of your choosing. This is optional, but they are really focused on upskilling and more developed training. Yes, of course, you have here the whole exhibition of our mentors and trainers, which we have a lot on this program, actually about 24 in total. So this took a whole village to build this program, and we are very grateful to our partners, our MVPs, our clients, and our own colleagues for taking part and helping us deliver this beautiful program to you. I will give you the links, all the nested links in chat, and I will be waiting for any question you might have on the program. And now I will let Maria Irimias, our MVP from Accessa, to start the session, the training session today. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. I will now share my screen because for today, we have prepared a small presentation and also a demo. Do you see the screen? Everything is okay from your side?
Yes.
Perfect then. So this session is an introduction into RPA, the world of RPA, and an introduction to UiPath Studio. First of all, I will also want to thank you and welcome to the Women in Automation series, which was, as explained by Christina, a whole village of sessions prepared for you. I will start by an introduction for UiPath from my personal perspective as a women in RPA since 2018. And then I will let Nadia continue and show you some demos and live, hopefully together with you, we will be able to build a first automation together. This is our aim, actually. As I mentioned, the agenda for today, we have included also 2 small quizzes in the besides the information which you will have. They are split, not in the end, those quizzes, so stay tuned with us because some small surprises will arise with this session also. As I mentioned, I want to thank you for choosing to spend the time with us. We are here, myself and Nadia. Nadia, if you can present yourself, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you everyone for joining. I'm Nadia Wolfa. I'm an MVP from the French community. So I work actually as an RPA tech lead at Talon. I'm really happy to be sharing this session with Maria today to show you exactly how to start your first steps in automation. And I will be presenting live demos in studio. I hope you will enjoy it and please stay till the end. So Maria, can you please start?
Yep. And myself, I'm Maria. I'm a solution architect and service delivery manager at Accessararo. I started my developer path a while ago, actually 18 years ago in 2005. And starting with 2021, I think, yes, 3 years ago, when I became one of the worldwide UiPath MVPs. And I'm here as my 3rd year in a row. And thank you, UiPath, for this recognition. I am proud to say that I'm part of this community. A while ago, I think last year was 1.5 million. Now I think it's about 2 million at least. Christina can help us with the numbers there. But
2.2 at the end of last year. Last 4th quarter last year, 2.2. Now probably more.
So a vibrant ecosystem with millions of citizen developers and professionals, which we work together in building automations for our partners and also for ourselves. UiPath offers an academy program which allows you to freely learn the skills of the future. As I would say, you have here some links. I think that Christina will provide you those links also on the chat so you can access them and start your development path. You can choose based on the role which trainings to take, and from my perspective, they are very clear and well structured. Also, the UiPath community allows you to connect with like-minded people and share best practices through events like this, and not only the ones which are now in the Women in Tech or Women in Automation series, basically, but others throughout the entire year. You will see events on the UiPath page. So stay tuned and follow those pages because are really meaningful from my perspective at least. Now I will start by introducing yourself with what actually RPA means, because as you know, RPA is an acronym, and this acronym comes from robotic process automation. If you take them each separately, robotic means an entity with the capabilities to mimic human actions. Process is a sequence of steps which led to meaningful activity or task, and automation are the tasks which happen automatically without the human intervention. RPA or robotic process automation actually aims to automate what humans can do with their hands, with their eyes. So as I like to see it, as long as a human can interact and operate with an application on his machine, also a software robot can do it. And that software robot is just an RPA robot. It's not the easiest task for sure, but it can be achieved. And UiPath provides a vast platform which allows you to embed not just those repetitive tasks, but also intelligent automations and capabilities throughout the platform. So simply put, RPA or robotic process automation is the technology which enables a computer software to emulate and integrate actions which are typically performed by humans. And what I've heard in these years, when I jumped from my world of developing with .NET technology to RPA, that a lot of people got confused about what an RPA robot means. So yes, RPA is not a robot from the warehouse. It's not an industrial robot. It's not a robot which can talk. It's not a robot which is not either a chatbot It's actually a software assistant, which, as I like to say, it gives time back, because it allows you to free your own personal time by providing you automations. Benefits of RPA, there are plenty. Here, I just chose 4 of them. I think the ones which are the most important, at least from my perspective, because once a robot is configured, he follows some steps, and he will not get tired, and he will not get bored of doing the same task all over again. And he will not forget some steps. He will always do them in the order you configure it to do it. And it's very easy to implement, and it's powerful to scale. With that said, the major advantages which I see is that allows you to increase the speed in execution, because it can be faster than you executing the same steps. It enhances accuracy because allows you to reduce the errors. If you are tired or something, you can have a bad day or you are not feeling well, so you can make mistakes. Also, as a developer, we do introduce bugs in our systems. It's human. Yes, it reduces the process execution costs. So I think it's beneficial from every perspective to take into account RPA, and not just RPA, I think automation, as we will see further in the following slide deck. Where RPA can be used, from my point, everywhere. Here is just a glance and some small examples where it can be used, and it was already used in education, scheduling meetings, classrooms for online learning, answering queries, some different alerts there, in supply chain, in IT even, HR, client services, accounting, operations, finance, marketing, sales department. We have done, or I was part in these years in building together with my team, of course, on more than 400 robots, which are now in production. So it can be everyone, everywhere. On automation, you can even develop your own robot. UiPath allows you that. And I think this year it will be even easier with the public release of Studio Web, but let's talk about that a bit later. I will now provide you why I chose RPA, because yes, as I mentioned, I started my career a while back ago. At that time, RPA was not a technology, I would say, in 2005. And it started just at the beginning. I think that it was founded in 2005, UiPath as a technology, and it grew, but it grew from 2015 more and more, and it was publicly after that. So I chose to switch from .NET world to RPA because I do consider it a cutting edge technology, and I see it very challenging. Even though it's low code, it is less technical in comparison with other technologies. You will not basically develop software as on the technical side with .NET languages, Java, Python, and the others, but you will be more focused on automating processes, which will help basically customer journey, improve their experience, and you will be in close connection with the business. This is at least my perspective. Nadia, how you see the RPA world?
Thank you so much, Maria, for the question. Well, me, when I have started, I enjoyed it typically because you don't have this part of really hard technical development skills. So you can pretty much start by playing with it, trying to see what can you automate to help yourself first, because we also have some repetitive tasks to deal with every single day. And also you can start having some assistants, as you have named them, that can help you and help others do their work faster. So for me, I think it's not really required to have so many technical background to start into the automation journey. And as much as you get into it and you start to play with automations and developing automations, you will see that it can go from a very simple tasks to a very complex and big projects, which is the magic about RPA that can help really help users automate very complex tasks with reading of PDFs or using OCR and AI technologies to get the job done. So yeah, this is from my perspective. Don't be afraid to start with it, and you will see you can do really great things.
Thank you, Nadia, for sharing with us also your experience. I think it's meaningful because, as I mentioned, I had a very technical background before, and I switched from that in-depth technical to this more business-oriented approach, and I do enjoy it. I still can apply all the principles in software engineers I learned throughout the years, because RPA does enforce governance, does enforce clean code and unit testable processes. So all that it's kept. But what we see, as also Nadia mentioned, that you are staying together at the same table with business experts and try to understand their requirements and try to translate them into an automation. And from our perspective, this is very meaningful, and this experience of improving the customer journey, it does bring us here at this table, actually. And not least, one of the reasons is also why I chose RPA with UiPath, for example, is the fact that throughout the years, as it also was seen by Gartner and others, UiPath is the leader in RPA. I think that this is the 4th year where Gartner sees RPA as the leader here, and this is not just because it offers an RPA platform, but because UiPath is the platform which allows you to fully automate your enterprise. It allows you to go beyond RPA to have process hyper automation throughout process mining, machine learning models. But let's go and discuss those in the following slides, because we have more details where you can understand a little bit more on how the platform is built and its components, actually. And yes, another part of why just not RPA, as I mentioned, besides the components which offers in order to develop the RPA processes, it allows you to go beyond, to have the hyper automation framework, its ecosystem with advantages, and UiPath is there with you as a platform from the identification part of that automation need to the engagement and of the running of that automation in production, or bringing you data of how successfully is that automation in production, how well it run, how much time have you saved with that automation, and all that within one single platform. Here, I do encourage you to use this Menti code. We have prepared the first quiz of today. Please let us know. I will open the chat if you are able to use the code and everything is okay. A thumbs up or something in the chat could help us.
I will also give you a link and the code for the
Perfect.
Menti, so you can also go to this site, this site, and then let me just give you the code to paste, so you can enter in the quiz room, or you can scan the QR code directly. This is the access code, so it's easier to access from mobile if you wish. Just go to www.menti.com and then you copy paste this code 77333073, and you should be in the quiz room. And I will go to the quiz room now and share my screen.
Thank you, Christina. And don't be shy, because are easy questions about what I've just told you. So I do dare to answer them.
Okay, we'll take the first two questions in this session, and then we will have another Menti session more towards the end, a bit later. And remember, after each of these questions, you will see a leaderboard, but the final winner is the one in the leaderboard after the fourth question. And also in Menti, you get a higher score if you answer faster. So answer fast. We have 24 players. We'll wait a bit more since there are 41 of you currently in the call. Let's see who else wants to join the quiz room. And the prize will be a UiPath swag voucher. So you will be able to go on our brand store. I can show you a bit of the prize offering, I think. Let's see.
As we mentioned, we have some surprises, not just learning.
Yes.
So you will receive a voucher that you will be able to spend on this site, on our gift shop, and get some UiPath swag. The socks are pretty popular. Of course, the plush robots are also popular. And the t-shirts, of course. Yeah. So this is our offering. Okay, we still have people joining. Is anyone else trying to join, or oh, wait, I think let's stop a bit. Let me go back a bit, and we'll redo the first question because Menti somehow took it before. Okay, I see most of you already answered. I'm going to share again the screen. It's okay. all the people answered. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, let's wait a bit. Yeah, it's you have to be careful with the clicks in the Menti. Okay, so we had the question was, what is RPA? So of course this was the simplest question of the quiz, and I see most of you except one got it right. No, actually except 4. But as you can see, yes, RPA is the technology that enables a software to mimic human actions. And now we will move to the leaderboard to see a bit like how are we doing after this first question. See. Okay, so I think we have Amruta as the leader currently. Let's see how we fare for the next question, and now we move to the second one. Okay, we have 31 players. Ready, everyone? And answer fast to get more points. You will have about 20 seconds. What are the major advantages of RPA? So you have here 3 possible answers with small variations.
Only one is the correct one.
Yeah. Here is the process execution where you see we have a limit of characters in Menti. Okay, it's good. Most of you got it right. So this is it: increased execution speed, enhanced accuracy, reduced cost of process execution. Let's go to the leaderboard now. Okay. Rakshana, okay. So we have a small change in the leaderboard. This will happen after each question, you will see, and we will follow up with the next 2 questions a bit later. Thank you for joining.
So stay tuned, because after Nadia's demo, you will still have one more quiz with 2 questions, and the leaderboard, as you've seen, can change. And we encourage you to stay with us till the end to be able to join that quiz also. So I will share again my screen, and I will go then to the other part. Basically, what UiPath has to offer, as I just mentioned, it's such a big platform. It has everything, I would say. And let's see what that everything meant. I really liked the fact that UiPath creates this environment to nurture automation first and accelerate the human achievement. And from UiPath documentation, you also see this part where UiPath mentioned Bill Gates here, where Bill Gates, yes, a while ago, he envisioned a world with a PC for every desktop, and UiPath now envisions a world where a robot will be there for every person. So everyone could enjoy on having his own assistant there with him, a software assistant to help with the mundane task and free them up for the higher level work, the one which is more intelligent and creative, I would say. But I liked very much that part from UiPath where they mentioned Bill Gates and this association. I think it's the one which does count, and I think is that it really shows that this is the direction of UiPath, because a while ago UiPath started with a small platform where you had just some components, but throughout the years they did evolve a lot, and they brought new functionality in this platform. They brought automation hub, process mining, task capture, and test mining technologies, which allow you to discover the automation potential. Basically, with Automation Hub is the place where you, if you have an idea, you can assess that idea and you will see if that idea is suitable for automation. With process mining and task mining, these are the tools which are used in order to optimize the processes. Process mining, mostly it uses systems logs in order to provide you a diagram of how your process runs and where are the pieces where it can be optimized. And task mining is the one which goes to at the sub-process level and helps you identify those repetitive steps in doing the sub-process. And actually, with task mining from UiPath, provides you a skeleton of that automation also. Task capture is mostly used on documenting the process, on providing you a recording of how you do your process, and actually creating screenshots of what you are doing on the screen and creating you the documentation of your automation. In order to build those automation, as I mentioned, it was first started with Studio, but then we had Studio X and Studio Pro. Studio X was a light version of Studio, which was the version to be used by every citizen, which doesn't have an extensive knowledge of technical background, basically. And Studio Pro was the version which enabled you to have also test run. But nowadays, the Studio changed a bit. Studio Pro and Studio are the same, and Studio X, I think that throughout the next few months, will be slightly, I think, decommissioned, and we will mostly use Studio Web. I think that Studio Web, since I have joined the trial version of it, it's very light and it's amazingly easy to use. And stay tuned with the release, because it will be released this year, and I do encourage you to use it, because if you do not have a technical background, it's quite a piece of cake, I would say. In order to manage your automation, UiPath also helps you there, mostly with the orchestrator. It can be on-premise or on cloud. It allows you also to have interactions with your automation throughout the AI center. And as I mentioned, if you are just interested in doing some testing on your environment, testing on your robots, you can do that with the test manager. As a robot, in order to run your automation, it's the robot part of the platform which does that for you. There are different types of robot: attended robot, unattended robot, AI robots, and testing robots. All of these, as I mentioned, are serving different purposes. The one which is attended, it's running on your machine. The unattended one, it's running on a different machine than you and just provides you the report back. The AI robot is the robot which has the capability of using machine learning in order to enhance the automations, and the testing robots are the ones which allow you to use to run test cases basically. And as I mentioned, there can be situation where you engage with your robots, and then we use AI Center there and also build meaningful UIs in order to provide input to the robot, and that can be used with the application. And also you will have the capability to embed the chatbot. There is a direct partnership with Druid for now, but I think that there are still extensions with other chatbot platforms. So I have played around with several from them, and also UiPath has different, as I've seen, use cases throughout the internet on how to integrate a chatbot with the automation itself. And least but not last, the UiPath Insight, which is the platform which shows you how your automation do run, and provides you those analytics basically based on which you can take a business decision on how healthy your automation center it is in the end. But from this platform, 3 components are the ones which are the most important, basically at the core of this functionality. First is the studio, where you build your automation. Secondly is the orchestrator, which allows you to manage all the automation, and the robot, the one which actually executes the workflow which you have designed with the UiPath Studio. This slide is just a small glimpse of how UiPath Studio does look. From my perspective, it is very similar with others, the IDEs from out the other technologies, and it's a powerful IDE with a very easy to follow design, and it does allow you to build your automation very fast. Basically, you have in the left pane an activity panel from which you can drag and drop on the designer panel the activity. On the right side, you have the properties panel where you can customize the activities which you are using to build the automation. And then you have the output panel where you will see the results, some logs, some errors, and information which are needed for you and helpful in order to develop those automation and make them as errorless as possible, I would say. And this is just a screenshot of the orchestrator. As I mentioned, the orchestrator is a web-based manager. It is the heart of the automation management, and basically provides you the power to deploy, to trigger, monitor, and also to track every robot. From here, you are setting up the stage of how your center of excellence will look like and looks like. You have the control from here to everything. And yes, as I mentioned before, the robot is the one which executes actually those steps which were configured in the studio. And there are different ways in which a human can interact with that robot. Yes, you can have the possibility to choose no automation, so no robot. You can build a robot to run on your machine that it's called attended, basically. You can have the hybrid one where a robot might need some validation from your side, and then there you can have different approaches. One is through the action center, one is, I don't know, through other possibility which you can build yourself with the application, and so that you then integrate and work directly with the software robot in order to provide you an end-to-end scenario of your automation to actually fulfill the task you have built it. And yes, you have the completely unattended part, which is 100% in the background and runs usually on another machine, and just in the end provides you a status report of the task he managed to complete and a sanity check. And now the stage is yours, Nadia, and I will let her show you how to do a step-by-step installation of that studio, and then a small demo on first automation. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you for the introduction and all the useful information. If you are ready, guys, please let's start our preparation and let's start our first automation. For instance, now we will start by installing Studio. So for people who had already Studio installed, just stick with us a little bit until everyone has the installation, and then we will start the automation part. I will be sharing my screen. Maria, if it's okay for you. Okay.
Yeah, I just stopped my sharing.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. So first of all, as Maria have mentioned, we have three main components that play a big role in the RPA automation with UiPath generally. And we're talking about the studio that we will be presenting just in a few minutes, and the orchestrator and the robot itself. So first of all, to be able to download UiPath Studio, we have to go to this link and sign up if it's not the case, or create an account so that we can have UiPath Automation Cloud with the Community Edition. So you will have this interface in which you can sign in with your email, sign up with your email, sorry, or you can sign in if you have already an organization. So I will let you just start the sign up part. And if it's finished, I will show you the sign-in is something like this. You can go with Google, with Microsoft, or with email and password. And if you finish at the sign-up part, the sign-in is pretty easy on cloud.uipath.com, and you will be directed to the cloud part. I'm just
Nadia.
waiting. Yes.
Kanika here. Hey, Nadia, can you kindly paste the link here? Given that it's on your screen, we obviously cannot click on it.
Sure.
And just to let you know, my laptop definitely has some restrictions. Not sure about others. We may or may not be allowed to download anything without IT getting involved. So I'm going to give it a try anyways. And I suggest the same to other cognizant people, but just to let everybody know, and of course you as well.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
That might happen if you have a company laptop with some restrictions, not for all. You can try. If you do not succeed, you can talk to IT to unblock this specific soft, or you can try on the personal laptop as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I totally understand that, Christina. Thank you. It's just that unfortunately I don't have access to the personal laptop as of now, but yeah, well.
You can stay with us. Yeah, Christina, please.
No,
this is being
is
recorded, right? So some part I can pretty much try later on also, right? Okay.
Absolutely. And the main idea, yes, is to speak to the IT to unblock and then to follow the recording. Yes. So
thank you.
We will mention this in future events, but it happens very rarely because it's not.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not blacklisted, but it's true. It happens for some enterprises. Yes.
And I will look meanwhile also on exactly on the documentation of UiPath, where you have the instructions when we get the part on how to build the automation, and provide you in the chat also that link. And in order for you not to look at the entire, for example, video, if you do not like, just to follow the instruction from the UiPath page. But I will come with that at that moment.
Yes, and with the slides, you will also find the URL to go to the cloud, and you will also find the documentation in which you have the installation step-by-step for the studio. So yeah, I'm trying to connect, just it's getting a little bit longer than usual. So for those who had already connected to the cloud, you will get this part in which you have the button to download UiPath Studio. If you are already there, please click on this button, Studio, and let the download start. Okay, this is the link for the documentation for the installation. You will find it with slides after this session. Yeah, and my cloud takes time. Just check. Oh. All right, it's done. So as soon as you connect on the cloud, it's cloud.uipath.com, just to repeat that, you will find directly this run your first automation with UiPath with a button that will download directly the UiPath Studio and Studio X installer. I'm gonna stop it because I have it already installed. Please let us know in the chat if you have already done this part. If it's done, please start it right away. It will start the installation. It will not take very long.
Sorry, Nadia, one more time. Where should we click for the download?
It is right here on the cloud automation platform. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to refresh. You sign in, and then afterwards in the home, you will find the link just here.
Okay.
So is it okay for everyone? Let's just give some more couple seconds, and then we will start the introduction of the studio.
Does it work for all operating systems? Because mine doesn't seem to be working on a Mac. It's saying I've not got the relevant application to download it.
Neither. I also don't see click here to download again. So I'm not sure.
For Mac, Christina, please correct me if it's wrong. I think you cannot directly install it from here.
Yeah, you can only do through virtual machine. I will. It was also shared as a disclaimer in the session, in the event link, and I will share again the link so you can have it afterwards to see how you can work with Studio on Mac. Yeah, so I will share the link in the chat now.
Yeah, thank you, Christina. So for those who hasn't already done it, it's here in the cloud automation platform. You have this button, just click on it and let the installer start.
Just one other disclaimer, because Maria told you, if you remember, about Studio Web. Well, Studio Web can work from any machine, any operating system. So
yeah, actually, it's a great occasion to show that, because here on the cloud, we are on the orchestrator, and you can see we have multiple services that we can use, such as apps, integration services, etc. You can click on more, and you can find others like action, data services, etc. And you will find also UiPath Studio Web. I don't have it, but for the cloud, you will find it right here, so you can test it also. Thank you, Christina. Okay, so let's move on to Studio. If you have already started the installation, you will have a choice between two profiles. A pop-up like this, which give you the choice between Studio and Studio X. For today's session, since we are introducing Studio, you have to choose Studio. If you have clicked on Studio X, don't worry, you can also open Studio and change it afterwards. So first of all, we have two things that will be installed, the Studio and the Assistant. The Assistant is this one, and it will help you connect with the orchestrator. So if it's not the case, and I suppose for people who have just installed it, you will just have the Assistant, which is not connected. Let me sign out and sign in to show you exactly how to connect. So you will have the Assistant like this, just after the installation. Click on sign in. It will redirect you automatically to the cloud. Click on open, and here you can see it is connecting. If the status is green, it means that you have a connection between your assistant on your machine and your orchestrator. This will help us open Studio and start to make automations and run them. So is it okay for everyone for this part?
I think we should move forward because we will have the office hours tomorrow. So any troubleshooting will happen in the office hours tomorrow. I will give you guys again the link now for the office hours. So tomorrow in the office hours, you can ask any questions you want for the MVPs. You can troubleshoot installation problems. You can troubleshoot exercise problems as well.
Perfect. So we have our assistant, which is connected. Now let's go back to our studio. First of all, when we open Studio, we will be on the the start page. Here we have multiple options, like we have open, where we can open projects. We have processes here, so we can create new processes. We have templates, which are pretty much pre-built projects that we can use that have multiple of reusable components and processes that are built in order to help us start our automation, and some of them are really specific to some cases of automation, like test automation, mobile automation, background automation, etc. So you can play with that and you can test them yourself. Here we have tools. Now we will show you how to start the first automation with a very simple use case. But for that, we will need a navigator. So it's your choice to use Chrome or Edge. But please, if you have just installed Studio, make sure to install the extension. So afterwards, you can have it directly in your Studio and you can start your automation with me. All right, templates, I have just mentioned that. So we have multiple examples of templates that are built. One of the most famous is Robotic Inference Framework, which is a very solid base for pretty much all the automations that you can use. It helps you with so many pre-built framework processes to start your automation and to have it some error handling and exception handling, etc. Team for version control processes, and we have the settings in which we can configure and set and put on the configuration or settings for our projects globally, and then we will have parameters later in the activities to just change the settings if we want. So here we can change the profile as I have shown you, and here we have so many useful resources like Academy, documentations, etc. Okay, let's start. First of all, we will start by creating a simple process. So you can go here on the start page, click on process. You can choose between VB or C# for the language. It depends on which language you want to use. And you can simply start your first Women in Automation process. So Women in Automation process. All right. So this is our process. It's going to load all the dependencies. I will leave it there for not to, because it can take some time. And I will show you what are we going to automate. Right, let's go here. I don't know how to hide this. Okay. Let me just try to close this one because I don't use it. All right, so my project's already opened. As Maria have mentioned in the presentation, we have so many panels that can help us make our automations. So here you can see the project panel in which we have the dependencies, we have the projects and the workflows that we will be creating. And it gives us also the possibility to make some specific settings for the project. Here we have the activity panel, which we will be using a lot for today, in which we will find directly our activities, and we can also make a search to find them, and we can just drag and drop or double click to have it on our canvas. Let me go to the main, which is the main process in which we will be building our automation. This is the designer panel, which is the focus center, our canvas, in which we will pretty much create all the building blocks of our automation. So we will design our automation, then we will come here and start building it by drag and dropping all the activities that we want to use in order to accomplish the task. In this part, this is the ribbon where we find all the buttons to save, to run, and to publish the process. This is where we can already click on the run and make the automation start. This is the properties panel in which we will be updating our activities properties, and this is the output panel. So you may not have the same presentation as I do, because you have this flexibility to change and modify how the blocks are connected in the studio. So feel free to do that. For today, let me show you very quick what are we going to automate. So it's a unicorn process, which will be very simple. We will go on the website and we will enter a name, our name, for example. We will choose a date birth. We will click on get unicorn name, and it will generate a unicorn name for us. First of all, before starting to make any automations, there are some parts to keep in mind before development itself, which are the best practices. Some of the best practices are to make design before already starting the development part, to break the process into multiple processes, to make useful components, add logs, etc. We will give you this slide so you can look more into it. For today, I will give you some technical information about how to use the activities and how to name them. So first of all, let's go to the site. I will give you also the link, so you can go and we can start automating our process. All right. If you have any problems or you are a bit late, don't worry, we can see them also in the session of tomorrow. So make sure to subscribe so you can come tomorrow and we can see how to fix that. Okay. Please make sure to go to the link so we can start.
Let's start, Nadia.
Yeah, perfect. I am resharing.
It's easy to go on that link. So, first of all, to start our automation, we will be using some activities, as I have mentioned. Either you can search them here or you can click directly here and you will have this list opened when you can search for it. You can also click on Ctrl-Shift-P, whatever you like. So just first of all, to start this automation, let's think of it as we are going to use something that will catch our browser with the application that we will use, and we will have a multiple of actions to operate, like click, type a name, and then get the name that we have typed. So first of all, to start, let's have our first activities. So we will start by use application or browser activity. It's an activity like this. You can double click. You can also do this and drag and drop it just to illustrate the example.
I will be going a little bit fast, but don't worry, if you have questions, we can get them later. So here I am indicating this page. And as you can see, it automatically got the good URL. Otherwise, we can use this application and type the URL ourselves. So first, we have done this part. We have the properties when we can change every single property that we don't need to use or that we want to update it. Like, for example, I don't want it to open this site if it's already open, so I'm gonna click on this. Otherwise, it's good for me because I have the good URL, I have the application, and I can start adding the other activities to start the automation. So first of all, we will start by, as you see, type in a name. So the activity for that is a type into activity. All right, type into. Same here, we can click on this to indicate which part we are going to use. So we are indicating the selector zone that we are going to use to automate it or to input data into it. With the modern design, it's very useful. You can have all the informations linked to this part here. You have the selector. You can choose either strict selectors or fuzzy selectors. You have more information about this in the academic course, so please make sure to go and read about all these parts. So for me, it's good. I don't see any issues, so I'm going directly to confirm it. First of all, you have this target, and also you have the anchor, which is the part that gives you where is this target is located on the application. I'm confirming. Then I will need to add a name so we can run the automation. So here you can directly type a text. Since it's a text, you will have to make it between two quotes. And I'm going to type the text, the name that I want. So my name for the day is Wonder Woman because of this great occasion. First of all, make sure for the code to be clean that you change the names of activities if it's not very comprehensive. So like, for instance, I have a type into what is your name. So it's good for me, but if it's not good for some reason, make sure to change it so that your code respects the best practices. After that, I am going to select the month. This is optional. You can do it, or you can just enter the name. The same thing, indicate the part. It's here. Everything is good for me. Quick check, the anchor is good. I confirm. After that, I will be having a drop-down list since it's a select item. So from this drop-down list, I am going to select the item I want to automate. Like for today, I am selecting October. Let's say it's my birth date. Then if you see on the activity, we have to click on this button so it can generate the name. So the next action, you have guessed right, it's click. All right, click. You can see it's very, very, very easy and very user-friendly as an interface. The target is great, I confirm. Perfect. Okay, now I have done pretty much all the first part to generate the name. So what is the next part if I want to test my automation? Remember the ribbon I told you about? It's right here. And to test, to run your automation, you have multiple choices, either to debug or to run just one file. So for right now, I'm going to click on debug so you can see step by step what is going on and which are the parts that are used. All right, this is the Find Your Name Unicorn site. I have started my process. It will start compiling first, and then we will see the execution has started. And the robot has correctly typed the name. It selected the month, and we have the generated name, which is Brilliant Featherwind. Okay, it's a great name. Let's say I want also to have this name as an output of my process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this name and make it show as a pop-up, as a message box in my computer. So let's do this. For instance, I have no problem. I have no errors on my activities, so it's good. I have tested it. It runs really well. So I'm going to add the next part. All right, so we said that we want to get the text from a screen. So the activities names are really relevant to what the activity does generally. So I can just search by get text, and you can see the first one that appeared is the one that I'm looking for. All right, get text. This is the text I want. I'm looking, the target is good. So, okay. It says that I have an error. Okay, what is the error? Is that I want to get a text, but I don't have a variable or a container where to put this text. So first of all, I'm going to create a variable. You can either create it here in the variables panel, or you can press Ctrl+K and you can create a variable, which is unicorn name, right? And as you see, it's all good. Make sure to have no errors on your studio before debugging or running on or testing it, because it will not compile correctly. So this is the name I have got. Now, how can I see it? I'm going to use a message box to make it visible. And here I am going to just select the variable, or I can click on the plus. I can click on use variable and I can choose unicorn name. All right, so now I will be testing this automation. I will close this because it can open if it's closed, since I have chosen this parameter. And now I will run this process and we will see what's going to happen. So it opens the page, it types the name, it clicks, it gets the text, and as you can see, we have a message box that says the name is Brilliant Featherwind. Well, that was pretty easy. That's all for the demo. It's very easy automation. Just make sure to make it very readable, to make it very easy to be processed and read by someone else. For instance, a message box is a name that does not respect the best practices because I didn't rename it. Also here, it does not respect because Brilliant Feather Name is the name generated with my input. So I should be just changing this part to indicate, right, I have to click on OK. I should be changing this part, and here like message box unicorn name. So in this way, I am respecting more and more the best practices. If you want to know more about this, you should also go to the analyzer part and analyze your project before putting it on production, because it gives you so much information about what is correct and what is not correct in terms of best practices in your development. That was a very easy automation to start with. So in the next sessions, you will be having more and more informations about how to use Studio, variables, and other more complex, let's say, concepts. So I will be, if it's okay for you, we will be passing to the second quiz Menti. Yes.
Is everyone still in the quiz room? If not, Nadia, can you place the QR code again just a bit on the screen to make sure that everyone is in the quiz room?
Yes, just to show you this. Do you see my screen or not?
No, because you're not sharing now. Share screen and
perfect. Yeah. I'm sharing from this. Yeah, so from this slide, you will have also the step-by-step what you need to know about the process that we have automated today, so you can get back to it later and you can do it if it's not already done or finish it. That's it. And for the quiz Menti session 2, you have the code. Please go to menti.com, and you have also the QR code that you can scan from your phone and go into it directly.
Okay. Let me know if you guys are in the quiz room or if there's someone still trying to get in. Just confirm in chat. Say yes, yes, or no, still trying. So we know how to move on from our last leaderboard. Okay,
Yeah.
the link for the quiz in chat. Yes, it's www.menti.com. Okay. And the quiz, wait a minute.
The code.
And this is the code, yeah. So you have it now. Just confirm to us when you're in the quiz room, Kayla. Okay, Chan is in.
You all have a chance to win, so.
And remember, it's a bit easier if you try to join from mobile. Usually, okay. Already, yeah, many of you should already be in the quiz room from the first quiz session. Okay, we'll start the quiz now. I'm hoping you guys are there. So this was our last leaderboard where we left off with Rakshana in the leading position. And now we will continue. And we see here you're 29th in the quiz, 29 in the quiz room currently. And I see nobody else is trying to join because, okay, 28, 30, okay. Anyone else? Let's, okay. I hope, okay, stay there, don't leave. We lost one on the road. Where is the 30? Oh.
I will be typing.
Don't close the window, guys. So if you're on mobile, don't stay on screen. Yeah. Okay, we'll continue now. So stay there. And 31. Answer fast. Yeah, answer fast to get more points. Which are the UiPath core components? So you had a very nice introduction about the platform. In the beginning, Maria told you a lot about it, and then you also saw the installation and some options. So you have an integrated view as well. You should be able to name these 3 components. Yes. Yes, it's true. Studio Orchestrator and Robot are the UiPath core platform components. So Studio Orchestrator and Robot from our main software. Okay, let's move to the next one. And we'll see the third question leaderboard now. This, as you see, it curates all the points you have gotten until now and it adds them up. Rakshana is still in the lead, okay. Let's see whether we manage to maintain the position or we'll have a switch of faith again. 31, okay, we gained 1. Last question, guys, answer fast. How is called the UiPath Development Learning Platform? This is a very easy question. So this is about our main learning platform. Also mentioned in this call in the beginning as a best platform for you to develop and learn, a totally free platform for UiPath software training. And it's also a very intuitive name, I would say. Yes, it's UiPath Academy because it's our main learning platform. And you will also receive the link in the chat following this. Let's see now the leaderboard and our winner today. Drum roll. Okay, it seems Rakshana is our winner. Managed to maintain a position through 3 questions of the quiz. Congrats, Rakshana. Please DM me your email address in the chat. Just message to me if you don't want your address to be public, and you will receive our UiPath swag voucher. Congratulations for today's quiz.
Congrats. The well-deserved prize.
Absolutely. And as I mentioned, the link to Academy is here, and you have the Academy assignments on the program page. All those assignments will still take you into Academy, only very focused on the courses in the RPA Developer Foundation course, which you should attend and start working on. Maria?
I think that's all. I just wanted to share the screen with just the information you mentioned, Christina. So here is the Academy program with track for developer, for business analyst, solution architect, and whatever other roles. Track also for process mining. Nowadays, also for communication mining, there is, of course, the new release a hack of UiPath where you can mine your communication via emails or whatever chats in order to discover automation opportunities. The link to the events, the UiPath events like this one, which will be for the full month of March, as mentioned by Christina, and stay tuned because several events are coming throughout the years. Mostly also the ones which are conducted by the UiPath MVPs chapters. They are a lot throughout the entire year, and they are very useful and insightful, helping you to build your knowledge in the RPA world.
If you guys want to check out all the chapters, we have learners chapter, citizen developer chapter. The learners chapter is especially for Studio, but also we have global chapters. Go to community.uipath.com and you will see all upcoming events there. And also we have UiPath Forum, on which we already opened this UiPath Women in Automation category, and we opened for the first training thread. We opened already a thread here where you will be able to ask questions and receive answers from the MVPs or from the other women in the automation community. I will open a new thread for Studio today following this session, and I will send it by email to all of you. And also post it on event link. So actually tomorrow when you will receive the email with the wrapped up event link with the recording and deck, you will also find in the event text this forum thread dedicated for you there. And you will be able to access it and write there any of your troubles, questions, and consult with your thread peers also on forum. It's also an engagement platform, UiPath Forum. Let's see now, as we are getting closer to the end, I don't know how many of you are actually familiar with UiPath Forum, but it's the best place to be while you are on the learning journey. So Academy and Forum are essential tools in this learning journey. Let's see if there are any questions. And at this point, I think you can unmute yourselves and ask questions for Nadia or Maria. We still have just a bit of minutes left, like 5-10 minutes. And if you have any questions, this is the moment for you. Who would like to ask?
While you prepare your question, I also have one nice thought. If you like challenges like the ones in summer, usually each year there is a UiPath hackathon on different tracks, and it's really nice because you can participate with your team there, and you can build an automation and which it will be submitted based on the track you choose, and then it will be reviewed and everything. So it's quite great opportunity to get involved even more with the community throughout these competitions.
Hey Maria, thank you. I think you read my mind. I was just about to ask that if there are any opportunities for us to come as a community to, try doing a small project or something. Just wanted to understand how are these opportunities will be, where are they listed? Will we be part of the DL now, like where you can share the news, etc., or do we need to keep it to ourselves?
I think like the best thing you can do is certainly have an account on community.uipath.com and check the upcoming events. Sure. There is also a hackathon chapter which you can join. On this women in automation category, we hope on building the community further for women in automation, so all the peers can talk there, consult, and why not perhaps, yes, also come up with ideas and make events, further events for the women in automation category and community, of course. Other than that, you also have, actually we have this very nice UiPath Community LinkedIn page, which is already, I think it just turned a bit over 1 year old, but I strongly encourage you to follow it. And you will have also like a social media hook to follow the news and receive updates on social media if you follow our UiPath Community Showcase page. It's entirely dedicated to the community. So here there are a lot of community posts about the MVPs, community programs, upcoming events. Yeah, so it's quite our community on LinkedIn. So you can follow this page for updates, and join community.uipath.com, where we actually have everything linked into that page. So community.uipath.com is our hub. This page, it's a separate website from UiPath, but of course it's a part of UiPath, a big part of UiPath, as all our pages are. And you can have here like all upcoming events and programs and series and learning resources, other types of resources like product resources, documentation for products, the YouTube channel. We also have a community YouTube channel. You can also follow that. And a bit of about our advocacy programs and options to contribute to the UiPath community. So everything is linked into this hub. Here you find all options, including automation cloud. It's very easy to navigate, and you can contact us at community@uipath.com if you have any questions at any time.
And there is also the mentorship program in there where
yes.
you can become a mentee or be a mentor of the RPA.
Yeah, I see someone was asking about internship opportunities. We have a job board on forum. If you search on the UiPath forum job board, you can see whether anything is posted there. I mean, us ourselves as UiPath do not have I think we have some internship opportunities, not all of them in RPA though, and only once a year. But for I think you mean like overall internship opportunities with our partners, clients. So like in the bigger picture, which is of course a bigger chance. And we have this job board on forum, which you guys can follow. And I will give you the link now. And I think also the opening panel was a very good session for career advice in RPA. So if you're just starting out, and I suppose you are, because this is why you're here today, and you want to hear a bit about the journeys, about the professional career journey in RPA, go back into the program page, and when you have time or just in the evening, slowly go through that opening panel and see what those women, what our speakers said to us there, because those stories are incredible. So and a lot of good advice from them. Very experienced leaders in automation, and wonderful advice to have.
So
a copy of the slides will be tomorrow on email and on the event link. So if you go on the event link tomorrow, you will see both the recording and the deck there.
And Christina, Maria, we also would like to know that who we can reach out in the leadership roles, especially women leadership roles, which you have liaised in the past, or you can suggest are somebody we can look up to get mentored from.
I think if you want, like, especially for mentorship, first I would advise to go and check the UiPath mentorship program and see what available mentors are there, because we have like leaders, we have UiPath MVPs there, so very good mentors you can find. And also, I think you can follow, we have on the program page all the profiles of our speakers from the opening panel. So I think you can begin with following and connecting with them.
Right. And where can I find the list of the partners that you work with, especially
I
in
don't
the...
think we have a public list of all the all the UiPath partners. We have a partner portal and we have a special page on how to become a UiPath partner. But I don't
Okay.
think the entire partner list is public anywhere.
Oh, okay. Anywhere. So if someone wants to just look at the banking and financial sectors partners,
Banking and like for use cases or
they're twofold. So one is just to understand which banking and financial sector partners. I understand, given that it's UiPath and my general knowledge around it, I know most of the tier one banks and some of the consulting firms as well.
oh, I don't think you
Mostly
mean
all of them.
partners, you mean clients.
Yes.
Ah, no, that's also not public. I mean,
Not okay.
we
That's
have
not
some
public.
client,
Okay.
we have some client stories and you will find them, and go on the UiPath.com website and search industry. We
Sure.
have categories and you will see many client stories there and also like use cases per industry line. So
Perfect. Yeah,
it's
that's fine. That should
it's
be good
very
as well.
easy. It's very easy, and I think that's a good departure point for that. UiPath, www.uipath.com.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else with maybe questions for Nadia or Maria?
I just have one question. Can we please mention again which steps are mandatory for us in order to get the diploma of being part of these sessions? I know that it's a training that is mandatory for us to do, if I remember.
It's it will be a UiPath credential. We turned it into a credential because we have this new program UiPath now with digital credential, and that's actually more appreciated by everyone since they can attach it directly to the LinkedIn profiles, and it has like the data. It has a back end credential to it about the program. It will most probably be something like UiPath Community, Women in Automation Studio, and perhaps studio training or something like that. The credential name will be labeled. And in order to obtain it, you have to finish the two training sessions, so this one and the second one next week, and complete the academy assignment, which is listed on the program page for the studio thread.
Okay. Thank you.
That's all. The rest of the program is optional, but if you still find like any of the mentorship sessions interesting, I strongly encourage you to join and just join whatever you find interesting from the mentorship sessions, because there are smaller groups, direct interaction with very experienced people, and more focused sessions.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, I think this is it then. We can wrap it up.
Yeah, and don't forget to be present in the session of tomorrow if you have problems or any technical questions after exploring Studio for a while tonight.
Yes, don't forget you have the office hours link on the event link, and I think I posted it already 2 times in the chat. So don't forget to join if you want like to discuss any challenges you had today or you have with the academy assignment. You can discuss it in the office hours openly with the MVPs, which are there to assist you in the office hours. Thank you very much all for joining us today. Thank you very much, Nadia. Thank you very much, Maria, for the incredible session and your efforts and staying so close to our community and encouraging more women to be part of our community.
Thank you, everyone, also.